Alright, so here we are playing some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Today my daily is attack with 30 creatures, which is kind of nice. Well, this deck right here, which I got the idea from watching Merchant stream, and he basically said, hey, I want to make a top-end Windstorm Drake deck. And I'm like, you know what, I'm bored, I don't have anything else to do, so I'm going to make one of those myself. So let's see, not collected. So this is the deck I came up with. I'll just go over it a little bit. It's basically blue-white flying aggro. I didn't put flying in the title, but you know, whatever. So we got 4 Healers Hawks. Yeah, look at that pretty picture. Got Terramanders, although I was thinking about instead putting Rustwing Falcon in and just having all our 1-drops be white, because let's face it, if you look at the rest of the deck, it's really not a deck that has a bunch of sorceries to do the Terramanders adapt, which means that I'm not going to get a whole heck of a lot out of it. But at the same time, it's a 1 blue drop, and so you don't actually need 2 types of mana in your opening hand necessarily to drop a Terramander and a Curious Obsession. Curious Obsession, I mean, it's an aggro blue deck. It's got to have Curious Obsession because it gives you card advantage. Let's see. I guess I could drop Skyblade of the Legion at least and put a Rustwing Falcon in there. I don't understand why I haven't gotten any of these guys yet. It's not like I haven't bought some Magic the Gathering Core 19 packs, but whatever. I think I'm going to drop the Skyblade of the Legion for a Rustwing Falcon at least. You know, and I'm debating swapping that. Anyway, Blinks of an Eye to get crap off the board or to save one of my own creatures. Chart of Course, obviously very good for an aggro deck. Favorable Winds, of course, this is a flying deck, so this is basically +1/+1 to everything I've got. Stormfleet Aerialists, this is why I like having the 1-drops in the deck, because this is a good second drop. 2/3 for 2 mana. Some Kinjali's Sunwings, because it's a nice 3-drop flying, and additionally makes opponent's creatures come into the field tapped, which is very good when you're facing, say, a Rhythm deck. Resplendent Angels, because it's an awesome 3-drop, and I have actually gotten to the point where I can pump it, which means that, yeah, I get nice tokens. And I've actually had times where I get a bunch of Healer's Hawks out with favorable winds, and then a Resplendent Angel, and the Healer's Hawks make me some tokens, so that's pretty nice. Then we get to our upper drops, which is a 1 Sphinx of New Prav, you know, because Burn decks hate Sphinx of New Prav. Then we have 1 Lyra, because Lyra is awesome. And then we have 2 Windstorm Drakes, which is basically our, you know, you're dead, and drop it with a bunch of other little things on the board. I don't have a sideboard for this deck because I'm just randomly playing it. I haven't really tried to make it a winner in best of 3. So yeah, it's just a fun little deck that I like playing. My thought process was basically at first to go flying like this and just kind of sorry, see what was going on. I debated some Sarah's Disciples, but I don't really have any historic spells, so that's not really that good. I debated Silverbeak Griffins. The problem is that double white is, I mean, it's something we run across, but it's not necessarily something we'll have in our opening hand. So, yeah. Exultant Skymarcher, obviously, Resplendent Angel is going to win over cards like that because it's 3/3 versus 2/3 and has a bunch of abilities, and Pegasus Courser's meh. Rock Charger. This is more like if you want to make other things flying, which I don't have to do, so yeah, I guess you could play Triumphs of Gerard maybe and go with you know, some historic stuff for Sarah's Disciple. But anyway, Healer's Hawk was the #1 thing because it's a 1/1 drop, and yeah, I mean, this one's vampires, meh. We're not going to get Ascension too much. If we were, then Skymarch's Spirit would be kind of good, but I don't think we're going to get Ascension all that much, so Concordian Pegasus, basically just the same thing as Skyblade of the Legion. You know, one's a vampire, one's not, yippity-doo. There's really not much else. Event Sentry, Imperial Aerosaur. I mean, this one's okay, but yeah, for a 4-drop, we have better stuff. Chalet, not really worth running here, I don't think. This is basically an aggro deck. Syndicate Messenger, meh. Spirit of the Spires. Spirit of the Spires, there's an argument for running that just to get +0/+1, but meh. Angel of Grace, nah. Angel of the Dawn could be another good drop if you didn't want to run Windstorm Drake or Lyra, or you were making a white flyer deck. Because that's pretty nice. Confront the Assault is more of a defensive spell. Divine Visitation, obviously, meh. Lyra, of course. Sarah Angel, meh. I mean, this card used to be awesome. I used to love this card when I first started playing Magic. Because, number one, it had a very cool angel picture, you know, the woman with wings holding a sword above her head, which is, I think, the revised picture, or the 3rd or 4th edition picture, which was, yeah, I like that picture. But when you have Lyra, why would you ever put Sarah Angel in your deck? You're not, unless you're playing an angel deck, but even then. Shining Aerosaur, meh. Suncrest of Pterodon, meh. Angelic Guardian, meh. I mean, maybe if you wanted to go up to 6 mana, you could probably dump an Angelic Guardian in there. Sarah's Guardian, I guess. Light of the Legion, meh. I mean, if we get to the point where you have 6 mana out, you can play this, you probably lost the game anyway. Same with Zapalta, even though I really like this card. But, yeah, no. I guess you could run this, but what's the point? And obviously we got Terramanders. I guess you could swap out Terramanders for Siren Storm Tamers. That might actually be better. You know, we're going to do that. Or at least put 2 and 2. Zephyr Gulls, meh. Just a 1/1 with nothing. Fairy Duelists, nah, not really. Fairy Winds, obviously. Kitesail Corsair, I was thinking about putting that in, but I just think that the Stormfleet Aerialist is better. But if you wanted to knock out some of my top, like the Sphinx of New Prav and Lyra and maybe the Angels, I guess you could put in the Kitesail Corsair. Shaper's Apprentice, no, obviously. Verity Circle. Tempest Djinn, we don't really run that because we're not mono. So, yeah, kind of hurts us when we're not mono. Warkite Marauder, this is useful, but we're flying pretty much over everything anyway, so I guess this would be a good sideboard on the off chance you're playing a lot of creatures that have flying like yours. So I guess you could get rid of them that way. Moose Drake, draw a card, but 1/3 for 4 mana is kind of. I mean, Sphinx of Foresight. I guess that's a good 4-drop. Yeah, there's an argument to be made for doing that instead of Sphinx of New Prav, I suppose. Chillbringer, nah. I mean, that's some stoppage, but again, we're an aggro deck, so I mean, 5 mana for a 3/3 isn't that great. So there's really nothing else. Not a Riddlemaster Sphinx, none of that nonsense. I was thinking about running Resplendent Griffin, but again, we're not going to ascend that much. I mean, if you wanted to make a flying ascension deck, which I might do one of these days, this would be an excellent card to have in there. A 3-drop that gets +1, that gets better every time you attack. I mean, yeah, then you could do all kinds of nonsense. Obviously, this is our high-end drop here, Windstorm Drake. Yeah, now that I think of it, it might be nice to do an Ascension deck with Griffins. But yeah, anyway, that was my logic on making the deck. I mean, I guess you could also go for like an Azor the Lawbringer as like a really top end card. I kind of actually want to do that, but nah, I'd make another deck if I was going to make Azor the Lawbringer. So yeah, that's a deck. Basically, smash things with little creatures. So yeah, since the daily is attack with creatures, I think I'm going to run into a lot of aggro decks. So note to self, don't make practice. Nobody wants to play against Sparky. That was actually a good deal, by the way. We're just gonna do some playing. I seem to be getting God moded a lot, and what I mean by that is a lot of the decks that I'm playing against seem to have gotten their God rolls. So I'm getting rolled over a lot recently, and it's ticking me off. But that's weird. Then, yes. Well, this is nice. I'm going to do that. Let's see. Islands. Wish I had an obsession or something, but well, do this. Attack. Look at that. Raid is an interesting mechanic. There don't seem to be a lot of raid, so it's kind of mad. Probably put someone here to stop the bullcrap they have coming down. Of course, I also Dino deck. That's fine. People's Hawk. Smashing things in the face. Apologies, I all of a sudden have a coughing fit. Anyway, yeah, I figured that was coming. See, that's a stupid card to have in a Dino deck, though, because it doesn't actually deal the damage to the Raptor. If you're gonna have a Ripjaw Raptor, you gotta have something that that actually deals damage, like a Stomp card or something like that. I mean, it's just like, and that's a very bad card to have in there with a combination of things that have range. Range, 50 gold. I'm getting a lot of gold. I'm kind of waiting for a different thing. I don't really like Corset 2019. I've already, and the other two right now take gems, and I don't really have any gems, so I'm kind of waiting for like a actually traditional draft. Yeah, that does take gems. Waiting for like a ranked draft of Guilds of Ravnica. Something fun. Here we go with our pattern. Oh, and Sky Tether. Yeah, I've won games with Sky Tether. Let me tell you, that pisses off people that play like a Resplendent Angel. They don't like me very much when I do that. Obviously, this deck hates burn. So if we're playing burn or control, like, that sucks. They suck, isn't it? Well, we're gonna take it. Oh, maybe it's more. Oh, that's good. So, go with that. Oh, you can turn it off. on the bright side, we play a little bit defensive, but my Sky Tethers, but this is a really horrible draw. I'm not supposed to have a 6-man, I'm supposed to have a 3 or 4. So this is going to go to shit really fast. Once I start drawing a chart course, another Curious Obsession or something. Well. Holy God, this is... Kind of just waiting on the inevitable here, because that means 7 mana. I mean, that's just terrible. You know, I wonder what happens when this guy does that. Probably loses it. I don't know, we're gonna try. I mean, this is an experimental move anyway. Because I'm literally screwed. Oh, I'm screwed. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh, it still keeps it. That's nice. It is a green deck, so probably, I don't know. Lots of people don't seem to run enchantment removal unless it's Mortify. Which is a very big change from the Magic that I'm used to playing. Because I took a couple long breaks. And basically enchantment removal when I played with Magic always went to the deck. Good thing he's not playing. Or at least he hasn't drawn it. It's probably... Oh, well, that's actually something. It's terrible nonsense. If we win this game, it's through luck. And if you drew another Savage Smash, I don't know, I'm going to be put out. That's gonna suck. Let's see what happens here. For 8, yeah, this game's over. That, my friends, is a horrible fucking draw. I guess I should have attacked first. Petozo. I thought it was Petrozo. This is not a very good deal because we don't have a 1, but we do have... Why not? Live dangerously, right? So, obviously a land here is our best draw, which is ironic considering the rest we did. And playing against mono red. If I haven't mentioned it before, I hate mono red. I'm the kind of person who plays fun decks, and mono red just, it ruins the fun of Magic for me. Because Magic is all about card interactions and fun combos, to me. So, control decks, discard decks, red burn decks, I hate them. Unless I'm playing them. But even then, I hate them. Okay. So we have some choices here. Fight Curious Obsession, that it's obviously marked off, and it doesn't really matter, so... On the other hand, I'm probably never going to get that shit. So... Too nuts for me. So obviously that puts us at a shock range. Much. I would have been ecstatic if this was a healer's hawk. The blink of an eye is basically crap at this point. Oh hey, there's my healer's hawk. Out, and then next turn I'm going to pull them out. Crap. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to... Yeah, we're going to do these. Ooh. Well. That's kind of awesome. That kind of wins the game for us if we survive next turn. Which means I don't really need Blink of an Eye's draw, so... I think so. So basically I'm going to wait till he attacks and then bounce the Rekindling, because fuck Rekindling. This is a weird deck. Oh. I wondered where the bird was. You know, he can't even cast it. This is nice. Alright, so we might have won this. Oh, look at that, we did win this. Oh my god, we won against auto red. Holy cow. Excuse me. Oh my god. My deck doesn't win against mono red all that often. Because even though it's like a creature aggro deck, it's a bunch of creatures that are within burn range. So my guess is he didn't draw that lightning strike after I had played favorable winds, otherwise he probably would have used it on one of the other ones. This is an excellent deal if I didn't have Windstorm Drakes. So mulligan here. That is actually a much better deal. No idea where land. Obviously, I would curious obsession on the healer's hawk, but you know, beggars can't be choosers and so forth. There's the healer's hawk. There's the curious obsession. card just sucks. Oh, look at that Lyra. That's nice. Of course. Oh, I just know someone's gonna ritual of soot. But you know, a land would be nice here. Doesn't really matter at this point. Actually, it does because no, never mind. Because he can't bump it. I mean, he can't bump it. Okay, that sucks. And so, yeah, this goes over. That'd have been a Windstorm Drake instead of Lyra. But, oh well, price we pay. The price that we pay. PPP. Well, that is a gigantic pile of garbage. I actually got a deal the other day where I had all 4 favorable wins in my opening hand. What the hell is going on here? Okay, obviously, that's a bad deal. And, yeah. I go down 5 cards. You know, I kind of like the way that my little store used to play Magic the Gathering, which was the first time you mulligan, you still draw 7 cards. But in that case, we also had to make sure that... Okay, so this is a pretty bad draw on itself again. And we get 1 land, and I go first, so... You know, I seem to get mana screwed more often in dual color decks than single color decks. It doesn't make any, or for triple color decks, it doesn't make any sense because the triple color decks are harder to get all your mana bases. And yet, I get mana screwed most often in dual color decks. It's not because I don't have enough mana in there. I run 22 to 24 mana in every deck I play, plus pumpers in most cases of dual color decks. Something is obviously off in shuffling. We forgot to shuffle our deck. That's the problem here. Well, because at least we got a couple things we can actually play. I can put the Arcanist and hopefully the Sunwing. I think we're screwed against a pump deck. Okay, no. Oh, another charge. Let's move this quickly. When in doubt, go for damage. And get more creatures out, because then you more easily can chart a course. Obviously, you can try to course with and discard a card, but a deck like this, you really don't want to be confused with what his deck is. Let's see. Well, first, let's see. Kind of not good. No, I think I'm gonna Sunwing here. Cobra, where the hell is that coming from? Okay. What are we gonna do here? Well, I think I'm just gonna play Sunwing here, honestly. No, I gotta get stuff on the board. Nope. Jeez, I either get flooded or I get no land. Obviously, I can't do the same damn thing. I'm just going to attack here. Drop the edge. That'll probably be killed off. If he has a third shoot, I mean, what do you do? It's a god draw against a creature deck. Obviously, my ideal draw here would be an island, so I could actually do some stuff. Oh, well, that's probably my doom in writing. Well, we're going to Curious Obsession this. We're going to attack. And we did not draw land. That sucks. Yeah, that kind of sucks. That would have been helpful last turn, but I'm still not getting any islands. And I have more islands than planes in the deck. So this is kind of pissing me off at the moment. Well, we're going to try to push them. Yeah, this game's pretty much over anyway, because he can just pump the Resplendent now. Yeah, it's over. Mana screwed once again. Oh, at least we got that out of the way. But you know, looking at this deck, look at that. I've got 7 of each, and then 7 multi-lands. I guess I'm going to go up to 4 on that. Drop up planes, because Jesus. What was that? 8, 14, 21. I mean, 21 land should be more than enough for our top draw being 4. So, it's kind of taking me off how much we're having mana problems at the moment on this deck. focuses you playing against Karn. No, I don't think I've ever actually seen a Karn player play Karn. That is not the best deck not the best draw in the world, but we're gonna keep it. Probably a bad decision. But I did get the Kinjali. Yet, but I hate mono red. One of these days, I'm just gonna make an anti-mono red deck and just play that all the time. Why is it stopping you? You can't do anything. Oh, I guess it's not mono red, it's red. Obviously, this game got too much fun. Well, that's actually useful. Light up the stage. Spear Spears don't really do much good right now. What he should have done was burn off my healer's hawk early, but he didn't. So, I mean, life gain is anti-burn. So, in any deck you play, you're playing burn, you burn off life gain. That is your first target, assuming that you don't have a defense against it. Might be different if it was vampires, and it was just a bad idea for vampires to attack on the ground, but playing healer's hawk, burn it. Anyway, we'll go for one more. I realize this might seem a little boring because it's not like I'm playing a combo deck or anything. I'm just playing a flying aggro deck. You know, that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't because I get nonsense like this in my deals. Sure, whatever. I mean, obviously this is a terrible deal. Again. Yep. And, you know, you'd think if I keep getting terrible deals, I might change the deck a little bit, but... What am I going to do? Take up Links of an Eye? Okay, I can do that. never know that this was a two-color deck. Maybe I should just make a mono blue flyer. Isn't that what mono blue is anyway? Oh, well, hopefully I draw a Sky Tether. I have a Merfolk deck. I like Merfolks. But this is going to suck. Really hope these Sky Tethers. My Sky Tethers. Well, let's see. Oh, hey, look, a Sky Tether. I haven't noticed this already just because I did that. Yeah, I didn't get enough deal. I guess if nothing else, I can blink and eye stuff up. In fact, I might actually do that. Not this turn. Attack, so I can try this. Sure, of course you can. That would have been useful to have my opening against this coming out. It's kind of useless here, though. Well, I'm going to have some fun. First one, Johnny. These are the kind of games I like. Aggro versus aggro. But he's going to have something like a sleep that'll just fuck it up himself. Yep. And that's game. So, bad draw for an aggro deck against an aggro deck. I have one against Merfolk decks before, but it's just, it wasn't the right draw to do it. I would have needed some other songs. Three charter courses that didn't give me anything. Oh, what the hell? It's not really a good deal, but I'll take it. I mean, aggro jack not having that. Yeah, we're gonna reset. An aggro deck not having a 1 or 2 drop is fist me. Well, if I knew how to report play. Oh, well, look at that. A decent opening hand. Of course, the opponent goes first, which kind of sucks. But, you know. Oh. I just love black decks. Brings up Mortify and Legion's Land. Yeah. Healer's off. Succession. I like favorable wins, but this is nonsense. Mortify, curious. Well, Mortify healers on anyway. Yeah, look at that. I can just call this stuff out. This is the most useless draw in the history of draws. Oh, excellent. Well, that's nice. Well, that kind of sucks. No, I'm saving these guy tethers. That, however, is on the board. So we're doing okay for ourselves here. Basically, he's got to kill off 2 of my creatures, or he's fine. He got mana screwed, and I got mana screwed. But it looks like I had the better bad deal. I'm calling it. And there's the 4 foils. Fantastic. Alright, well, it was a bumpy road, but we actually got to 4 wins, which is pretty much all I wanted to do with this. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Next time, I don't know what I'll be playing next time, but hey, it'll be fun, I'm sure. So, have a good day, people.